bigger
Oh my
parts.
God, look at that. That is all new carbon work.
So latest touring car release from Yokomo.
Absolutely it is. And why is this one very special, Matt?
Look, I think it's been a long time coming. I think Yokomo's BD10 and BD10 LCR were slight iterations on the BD10 chassis.
Yep.
So I think this is a bigger move from the previous chassis. You've got the graphite suspension arms, pivot ball suspension, different top deck configuration for front and rear. Whilst the top deck might be very similar to what it's been in the past, the fastening on the rear of the chassis is a little bit different.
It's hinged now, isn't it?
So
it's hinged.
It's revolutionary, isn't it? Has anyone else done that?
I don't believe so.
No.
So that's tunable. So you can tune it with harder O-rings, or you can tune it with a tuning kit where you actually tune the pivoting out based upon grip level. But and also the front shock towers are a departure from the single piece shock tower across the front of both the uprights there. So
so now on the front they are bulkhead mounted, aren't they?
Yes. So they do allow some bulkhead flex.
Yep.
If
Which
you need
again is tunable because there's new parts available.
So one thing I think that Yokomo have done this time that are really smart is they've released tuning packs.
Yes.
Okay. So
I meant to grab one. I might go and do a dash.
Yeah. So the tuning packs, I think, depending on what type of racing you're doing, are really handy.
But they make it easier to go racing.
Yeah.
Like, because people say, all right, so I've got this race kit. Now, what do I need to go fast? Now, you don't need the stuff to go fast, but there's options available. Like, it's no difference to whether you're buying a full-scale car or there's tuning options and accessories available. So what Yokomo have done is they've included, I think there's 3 stages or 4 stages of option tuning.
Correct.
So in those packs, you've got stage 1 tune, stage 2 tune, and so on. So, and they're quite cost effective, and it really cuts down your parts, I suppose, because it just comes in one parts pack.
Well, it makes sense, doesn't it? So you don't have to worry about working out which
ball stud to get.
Which ball stud to work
with.
That's right.
So, another very special thing about this kit is this is Matt's kit. This is Matt's very own kit.
Lucky me.
And he's promised me, not only me, but there was other people witness that he will have this built and ready for Sunday's race day.
Yeah, no, I think that's a big commitment.
Sunday.
I think you've been talking to
Sunday's race day.
Dean far too much.
So make sure you go and see Matt at the track on Sunday up at Bendigo, and he will have this scooting around.
Setting up a total disappointment.
He definitely won't. He's not going to rush the build on this one.
No.
He's going to take his time. Definitely not going to be at the track this week. Well, the box might be, or partial assembly might be. But he's definitely not going to be on the track this week. But give it a fortnight, and I'm sure you'll have it tearing about.
Yeah. Look, I can't wait. Honestly,
mate,
can't wait.
Do the honours.
Okay, let's.
You've given me a knife. That's dangerous. Live.
Do the honours. There we go.
Was this the first opening of a BD11 in the country?
This is the first opening of a BD11 in the country.
So I remember when we did the unboxing of the wild one.
We did.
And you were doing it, and I was like, great, you can put that back.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't touch it.
Oh, look at that.
Here we go.
There we
go. What are we greeted with?
So
we've got some
suspension spaces.
It looks like that they've done that last minute. It looks like they've made a setup change. Made in production.
So this is a supplemental bit of instructions there.
So we've got a bit of a roll center or kick angle adjustment there on the rear, it looks like.
So this looks a bit special.
So that's showing you how to go to Yokomo's Tsukuba Arena, which used to be called the what do I used to call it?
If we're allowed into
I was there
downtown.
like 4 years ago with Nick.
Yatabe Arena?
Yatabe, that's right.
Yeah.
So it's now called Tsukuba Arena because Tsukuba is the area that it's in.
Yep.
So we can just Google that and
get
there.
Is that like a free admission pass? Is it? Does this get us in?
I don't know.
Club membership.
I have to read the small print.
I'll take you.
Hey, you're going to take me?
Yep.
Oh, come on. You're going to give me a flower as well?
You can talk our way in.
All right.
We'll buy you a beer on the plane.
Oh, how about some bubbly?
Yes.
That's right.
So
what have we got?
We've got pass bag, obviously.
Oh, it's all in the one big bag. Oh, I can see a chassis down there.
Yeah, let's look at the chassis first. I guess some of the bigger
Oh my
parts.
God, look at that. That is all new carbon work.
So,
that is very unlike anything I've seen out of Yokomo before.
Very matte.
That is matte
finish.
I'd say that they've got new machine, because look at the way that CNC there. That was not like on the BD10 or the LCR.
So a lot of the holes are actually finished much more nicely than before.
Yeah. I'd say they've got new tooling in for this, for sure. That is a really nice carbon
And
product.
actually, even the etch that's left on the carbon there. Can we get
Can
it
you
over?
see that?
You want to
Get right in. I want to
Hang
see
on,
the fibre.
Let me hold it still. Hold it still.
There we
That's
go.
it.
So can we see the?
There you go.
There you go.
Look at that.
So there's the etch path there. That's really quite neat.
That's clean, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you know what I'm most impressed about is actually the price point of this kit. And it's not something that we do is talk prices on this show, but it hasn't gone up since the LCR or the BD10 somewhat. So I think, and it does include the RTC is the only way you can get this kit.
Yep.
Which is good. So it's taken that whole confusion out of it. And that carbon fiber is unlike anything I've seen from Yokomo before.
Focus that back down here.
So we've got parts bag 13 out, and that is the top deck, and
yeah.
the pivot hinge.
Yep. So obviously that's a new part as well. That's unique from the BD10.
Yep.
Obviously the pivot's unique to this design as well, but even the capturing of the ball bearing in the top deck there.
Yep.
Also a new addition. Very similar from there forward. Very similar. I wouldn't say the same, but certainly similar from here forward, from the spur forward as the BD10. But yeah, from here back, it's.
Well, I believe you can actually use the BD10 top deck as a tuning option.
Gotcha.
If you need to stiffen the car right up, I think I read somewhere that is a thing.
Right. One thing I think that's probably really interesting would be to have a look at these the new suspension arms. So let's open the bag up.
That's your bag, mate. You do with it what you want. There's a knife there.
Oh no, there's a way to do this.
Oh, look at this. I just want this one. I'm going to put it on my...
Oh, look.
Look.
Brand new BD11.
BD11 stickers.
Decal.
So
Very Yokomo.
Why don't we just do this?
Oh, look at that. He's empty.
No.
It's all been
That's how I roll.
spread out.
Yes, so...
And for all those who actually bought a BD10 LCR and was quite befuddled with the Japanese instructions, I can indeed confirm that these ones are not Japanese.
They're multilingual, or is it
They're
multilingual?
multilingual.
Yep.
I guess what's causing quite a bit of talk, I guess, around the place at the moment would be...
I reckon we've got to zoom in on that.
These suspension arms are just gorgeous.
Let me just get that focus.
The machining work.
The machining, unbelievable, yeah.
And the product itself, again, it's that matte carbon fiber.
And even just the bevel on the edge, like the finish.
I didn't notice that before. It's got bevels that are really nice and clean.
Yep, so there's no sharp edges, finished really sway even the recesses where they've machined into the recess, the quality of that finish is...
Well, that's where we'll be screwing our sway bar mounts and shock position holders.
Shock position holders, yep. And even the C-hub carrier where the pivot pin goes through here. Really nicely made.
That's just beautiful. I could wear that as a piece of jewellery.
You probably would.
Probably hang it here for your bench.
We got new front drive shafts.
That's nice, isn't it?
That's the go.
Yeah, nice and subtle on the black t-shirt.
Got new front drive shafts here.
Really nice.
Double carbon drive shafts. They're not the bronze finish ones. They're definitely a new.
And they need assembly too.
They need assembly. The last ones didn't.
I actually prefer that because you have to disassemble the old ones.
Disassemble them, Loctite, and put them back together.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unless you're Simon Healy.
Yeah. Oh, we won't talk about that. Okay. Obviously, some new suspension parts here too for the suspension arms, the ball cup for the pivot pins. I think this is for the sway bar there. Yep.
Shock holders.
Shock holders with two positions now as well, rather than just the one. And obviously, this is replaceable if you happen to strip the thread. Rather than stripping the thread into the suspension arm, you can replace this part a little bit more price.
Readily. Well, this, because I can imagine that this parts tray here will be fairly serviceable. Like it'll be something, these pivot balls will need replacing it'll be serviced quite a lot.
Yes.
To keep all the tolerances nice and tight.
Yeah.
No, I haven't played around with this stuff for a while, but that feels really light to me.
I think as an assembly, it's slightly heavier than traditional.
So by the time you get everything together onto it.
Yeah, I think I read in the blurb somewhere that they're like the arm is like 4 grams heavier once it's assembled over the predecessor, but that doesn't mean that's not the be all and end all.
But just feeling that by itself.
Well, how good does it look?
But the other thing is you don't have the hinge pin anymore.
Yep.
So you've got less weight.
Yep.
From the hinge pin, you've got less weight from the blocks that hold the pills.
Yep.
So it might be just a bit of a shifting sand.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. But I think it becomes unsprung weight now, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, anything from the pivot out is unsprung weight.
Yeah.
So, but what we're looking at here is an arm that's really not going to be susceptible to change with temperature.
Correct.
Yeah.
Whereas before we had two compounds of plastics. We had the graphite and the plastic, the fiber reinforced ones. So, and the graphite was a common upgrade, but in the colder weather, some people would go back to the plastics to try and gain in the search of traction. Because usually cold track, low grip, and stiff suspension arms really didn't account for a fantastic car for some people. Some people just left them all the time.
Okay.
But yeah, that was an often tuning tool. But now they've taken that away with this super arm that's not really going to change throughout the day.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's, well,
going to have a bigger tuning window.
That's right.
You know, hopefully.
But as a tuning option, that's a big change on a touring car to change suspension arms. You've almost got to have two cars.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you want to do it during a club meet or something like that.
Absolutely.
I guess another big change is the sway bar mounting and the positioning as well as the shape of the sway bar. So it's all new as well. Extremely low center of gravity opportunity been given with the way they've constructed this. Hard on the chassis.
Hard on the chassis.
Hard on the chassis. So
and it's actually underneath the arm.
Underneath the suspension arm, that's right.
And people have said, well, I'll smash it off. Well, not really, because as the wheel goes up, the arm will go up. So unless you're hitting a big rock or something on the track, it's not going to be protruding whatsoever.
And I guess the idea isn't to hit stuff either.
No.
I mean,
hit stuff.
Have you seen me drive?
I said the idea is not to hit stuff. Yeah. And look, this is got some interchangeable parts, I guess, from the previous car. I think the diff and front spool, the eccentrics, the diff internals, etc. I think they're all the same.
Body posts,
bumper,
lower body bumper,
shocks,
battery retainer.
Yeah, I think the shocks. If there's not, there may be a tiny little upgrade to, I can't remember now, to the ball stud ends. I can't recall, but essentially much the same. The steering parts, I think.
18mm bell crank.
Yep, much the same as well.
Yep.
So I think there's some carryover.
There's enough of a carryover to keep it familiar and to make sure that you've got plenty of spares from your old BD10.
I think I already placed a small spares order based on, and belts I think are the same.
Yep, belts are definitely the same. Spur gear
carrier. Yeah, spur gear. The seat clip, that whole link, that whole assembly is all the same.
Yep. So that is really, really cool. The instructions, same. No, that is really cool. I'm really happy with that. I'm pleasantly surprised.
You like
Probably the most impressive thing that I've seen would have to be the carbon. I didn't imagine that it would actually be that pretty. I think they've come a long way. It actually looks really, really classy.
And there's a lot more tuning holes in this chassis than I recall from the BD10, from the motor mount point of view, and the T-brace, or what might, I'm guessing the T-brace might go here. I don't think they supply a T-brace with this kit, do they?
No, I don't think they do. It comes as
a tuning option.
Tuning option. The rear T-brace. Let me go back.
I don't think there's many tracks in Australia that would be able to use a T-brace.
Got the same servo mount, which is handy.
They've gone back to the old construction through the split pin. Sorry,
they have indeed.
Through the
so
hex adapter.
They've gone away from the super hub, the super hex axle hub. I wonder why they did that.
So
there'll be something behind there.
Probably O-rings, maintenance perhaps.
Maintenance, and also it's so easy to change the width.
Yeah, that's right. There's just a build technique that's a little bit different, where you've got to do a wheel nut up and then do the hex up.
Yeah. Just
so the hex doesn't deform as you tighten it.
Fantastic. Well,
that's
you should be super. I'm super happy, and it's not even my car. Right? And they've gone away with the. I did this on the buggy the other day. It was the first time I built a Yokomo kit that was like that.
Okay, so that's a
screw bag.
So all the screws are in there.
And you've got a template for a gauge as far as which screw to use.
And you've got like 20 or 17 packets of screws in there. And each step will say. Whereas you usually used to have the screws in here for each bag sort of thing. Now they've obviously found a way to save time and improve accuracy in the factory.
Yeah, for
sure.
All less parts to pack, isn't it? In different bags.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you do sort of have to open 20 packets of screws at once and keep them organized.
Yeah, but
and if you've done one with Simon Healy, it's a bloody nightmare. Anyway.
How good are the bits?
No.
What do you mean? How good are the bits?
I'm feeling really privileged because I haven't
Hey.
seen a
I think you
comp
should
touring
come
car for a
racing.
long time.
I think you should come racing.
I think you
too.
should come racing, Beach.
Relive some old memories,
Oh,
Beach.
geez.
Remember the days?
Yeah,
Sorry,
I
mate.
remember the
Turn up
days.
at
I
Temple
saw a
Stowe
photo the
there.
other day. Yeah, he
Yeah.
had hair and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Little fuzzball he was.
Yeah, it was
Hey?
a halfway house too when I had half the hair.
Oh, look at
Look
that
at that.
suspension there. Yeah.
So here we've got our front and rear shock towers.
Oh, wow.
Completely different. Same awesome
That looks,
carbon.
is it slightly thicker than before? The
Looks
carbon?
chunky, doesn't it?
It does look chunky. Maybe it's just the matte finish that makes it look chunky.
Hmm.
Oh no, I'm looking chunky now.
Yeah, well, last 2 years have done that to all of us.
Yeah.
But that's my excuse anyway. There you go. BD11.
BD11, fantastic.
So
There's some more pivot parts here.
So they have actually introduced a bit of looks like anti-squat on the rear. 1.5 mil goes under the pin, so it uses the same suspension spaces.
Yep.
As the BD10.
Okay.
There you go.
We'll know more once we've built one.
I can't wait
Nice.
to see some pics of them building. I know that a lot of the people in the team, a few did get dispatched today, not as many as we would have liked.
You probably should take that away from me.
Take that away before we all get too excited.
Yeah. It's hard to
So
keep up.
much excitement for one day. I'm spent.